I don't know what's going on.
All right. We did it. We came into the zone blitz laughing and giggling. It's been a while since we've done that, so I'm excited. Hi, everybody. I'm Sonja. I am the official fan reporter for the Detroit Lions for NFLfemale.com, and you are tuned into our Tuesday night webcast called The Zone Blitz. Usually Sharona does this part, but she's on vacay right now, but she is so gracious enough to join us, so I'm taking over the intro duties tonight.
I tried to. I think my headset is toast. One of the many things that Demon Kitten has destroyed.
Oh.
Demon Kitten!
No, that's not
Yeah. Well, I couldn't miss Leora. I couldn't miss Leora.
Introduce people already so I can show everyone my liquor.
Oh, goodness. Well, tonight we've got a great show lined up. We have on with us tonight Leora. Leora is our official fan reporter for the Denver Broncos. So, you know, lots going on with them. They are 6-0 now.
Undefeated.
Yes. So there you go. Meanwhile, the rest of us are just struggling to get wins.
It has not been easy. It has not been easy.
Gosh, I wish ours could, just come that way too. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah.
So we'll go around and I'll introduce everybody, and then we'll get on with Leora and talk some Broncos, okay? First we'll start off with Sharona. Say hi to everybody.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I am Sharona. I am the official NFL fan reporter for NFL Female. Thanks for joining us tonight. And yes, I'm on vacation. I didn't anticipate being at home tonight, but I'm actually here. I couldn't miss Leora.
Oh, thank you.
See, we love you. And then Kate, we've got Kate on as well with that stuff on her wall. One day she'll take it down.
With a new do. I like Kate's hair.
I know. The new do is cute, though.
I got my hair cut today. It's sassy.
I
So I'm
like
here
it.
with my friends, Captain Morgan and Captain Morgan Lime. They were full on Sunday at 1 o'clock, and as you can see, as we talk Broncos later, you'll understand why they're both empty. Do you ladies know what you all have in common?
What?
You've all spent the night at my house.
Yay!
Yes.
Although
Kate-
Kate didn't get to sleep in the minion bed. That's the bed where I put the evil enemies of the Empire when they come to Cleveland. But
Kate, I want you to know, I don't know if you remember this, but every time I go and look in the mirror, I see the crease, the dent in my forehead. You guys, I was getting some stuff out of the back of my SUV, and it came crashing down on top of me. And I do, if you look real closely, I've got a dent right there. It was...
Yeah. She looked like somebody beat her up. I've done that. Mine caught me once before I had glasses, right on the bridge of my nose. I've got the glasses hide it. But those minivan tailgate things are tricky.
Yes, I've bonked my head a couple times on there myself, so I
So
feel
I'm
the pain.
Kate, official fan reporter for NFLfemale.com, covering the Cleveland Browns, and that's why I drink.
Tonight we are having adult beverages, everybody except your girl, because my team won.
Your team won.
My team won for once. So
That was the longest overtime ever.
Wasn't it though?
I was getting aggravated because the announcer
Holy
started talking
crap.
about when was the last time we had a game end in a tie, and I'm like, oh, they're totally going to jinx it. I'm going to talk to Sonja on Tuesday. She's going to be 5.5, and I'm like, we're not having a tie. If it had ended in a tie, somebody should have gone, no, we're going to just keep playing.
We're keeping it going. Keep it going.
I don't like ties. It's ridiculous. You keep playing until somebody wins.
Exactly. And Matt Prater won it. And I was very surprised that it was over. I was like, wait, hold on. There are no penalties. There were no, false starts or flags or anything like
that. After that Michigan State game on Saturday, I'm so glad you had a good Sunday.
Whew. You know, I'm just starting to feel better. Repping my squad.
You knew I was going to bring it up.
I know.
We're doing really good, though.
I felt bad for you. That was just hideous.
That was awful.
And if I've learned anything, I've learned that I have no idea how the NCAA college football rankings work, because it just seemed insane for Michigan to drop as far as it did when you lost that game on such a fluke play at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
For it to fall that far, I'm like, either you were overranked or I have no idea how the system works. But my Buckeyes are number 1, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Right.
Very weird.
Wah, wah, wah.
I did feel bad for you, though. That was something. I feel bad for your punter. Oh, man.
Oh, you know what? He actually came out today and said, you know what? Bucked up and move along. So there you go. And that's good. And that's what you got to do. And it's just one of those crazy fluke plays that happens every now and then. And shame on all the people who are sending him death threats and all that other good stuff, because that's just wrong. But
I was waiting for Herm Edwards to come in.
It's crazy.
Something similar happened to the New York Giants back in the day, where Pistoric screwed up a snap, and Herm Edwards was on the defense, and he ended up recovering the fumble and taking it into the end zone to win that game. And so for the longest time, when people talked about the fumble, it was the New York Football Giants. And then my Cleveland Browns, again, why I drink, you mean to the fumble, and nobody remembers that. But it has happened before.
yes.
Well,
Well, anyways.
The problem with getting me on the show is I keep sidetracking things and having separate conversations and driving Sonja and Sharona crazy.
But that's okay. That's why we love you. So let's talk about the reason why Kate drinks. And the most recent reason would be because the Broncos beat the Browns in overtime as well, although I don't think their overtime was as long as the Bears and the Lions. So go ahead. Why don't you guys tell us how much fun you guys had.
Well, I would just like to say that Saturday, I'm tweeting with Leora. She joined me on my podcast on Friday night to talk Broncos, and I was tweeting her on Saturday to let her know the link was up. And she's like, I can't believe I didn't come to the game. It's only, a 5-hour drive. I'm like, get tickets, come to the game. You know what? Come tonight. You can stay at my house. And she was like, okay. So we started trying to find her tickets, and it was totally a last-minute thing. And so her and her daughter came up Saturday night, and then went and hooked up with some family on Sunday, and then I showed them what it's like to tailgate at the Muni lot in Cleveland. Again, we all drank because we're Browns fans, and so we got to see that. And I think if they had been from either Ravens fans or Steelers fans, I probably wouldn't have taken them there. But I think everybody was pretty cool, too. I mean, we found some other Broncos fans for them to sit and talk to a little bit, and her daughter is awesome. I've never heard an 8-year-old smack talk the way her little girl does.
Yes.
I love it when you're raising your kids to talk smack with full-grown drunk men in a parking lot, and she was just like, we're kicking your butt today, and she had it going on, and she was awesome.
So proud of her. So proud of her.
I don't have a lot to say about the game other than I like to think that we lost as opposed to they won, because we completely gave that game away. But I will yield the floor to Miss Leora, and she can tell you about her tailgating experiences and about the actual football game.
Well, it was definitely an interesting experience. It was my third away game, but it was the first time I had taken my daughter to an away game. So she was like, "Well, why are all the Browns fans being so mean?" And I had to try to explain to her what the drive was about. And when we got there, it's just this humongous parking lot. And by the time we got there, it was pretty late. So we were pretty much as far away from the stadium as we could be, but still be in this big, giant parking lot. And then Kate ended up not going to the game, so we said our goodbyes, and me and my daughter start walking towards the stadium, and everyone just starts chanting, "Hole, hole," just over and over and over again while we're walking towards the stadium.
Nice.
And I said, "I've got my daughter here," and they're like, "Well, you're a bad mom for bringing your daughter here." And I was like, "Whatever." And Tasha's like, "It's okay, we're gonna win." So I'm like, I'm so proud of her. But it was definitely an amazing experience. Very frustrating. It was not our best game. I would have to say it was probably our worst game of the season, but we still managed to squeak out the win. I can't even tell you how, other than, as usual, our defense made it happen in overtime and gave us the opportunity to kick the game-winning field goal, you know. So, but it was definitely an experience. So I'm glad we won, because that was going to be a very long drive home.
Now, how long is the drive?
It took us 6 hours.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, we were
That sounds like a fun trip, though, and your daughter, I bet, is adorable.
Oh, she's so awesome, and watching her learn the game and get excited for the game and actually ask those detailed questions about what's going on the field. It's such a cool moment as a mom who enjoys football as much as I do.
We'd love to have her on for like 5 minutes the next time you're on with us.
Yeah.
She would love that, and I'll let her stay up late just so she can partake for sure.
That would be so awesome.
If you want to see her dancing in the tailgate parking lot, if you go to my Twitter account and look through, I periscoped. I think it's called Little Broncos Fan Learning How to Tailgate, and she was dancing.
Aww. Guys, I'm getting all teary-eyed.
Oh, it was so cute.
Really
It was so
cool.
cute.
They have these matching crocheted hats that are blue and orange with the Bronco face on them that were really kind of sweet hats. Even though they are Broncos fans, but you know, as far as the game goes, I thought it was pretty even and pretty back and forth until that last drive in overtime. Mingo intercepted Peyton Manning, and we had the ball. We were like 6 yards from field goal range, and I was tweeting Sharona, can Travis Coons hit a 60-yarder? And how close do we need to get? And
which he totally can.
Yeah, and I'm thinking we just need to get one first down, and we're easy in field goal range. And the Denver defense really, I thought, had its best series of the game. It stopped a running play. They sacked Josh McCown twice. Not only knocked us out of field goal range, but I think it was like 4th and 19 or something. We had to punt, and then they took it down the field and scored. So, I mean, it was just – actually, they intercepted him, right?
David intercepted the ball. Yep.
But, I mean, that was, I would think, I think as tired as they must have been, that was their best defensive series of the game. And that says a lot about that defense. To go through 4 quarters, it was kind of chilly. It was upper 40s. It was windy. We had an issue with seagulls. I don't know what was with this. I've never
No,
seen
they were pigeons.
Like that before.
Big fat pigeons, and they just kept eating all the grass and getting in the way. And at one point, there were like a dozen of these pigeons just chilling right behind Peyton Manning and the offensive line. And everyone's saying the reason Demarcus Thomas dropped that easy, pass was because there was a bunch of birds in the way.
Distracted by pigeons.
I'm going to go with that. Totally going to go with that. But it was
We have our own little kind of voodoo magic going on here. You might remember a baseball game we played against the Yankees where we called in the help of the midges, those little bugs that get at you in summer, and they were all over Jabba Chamberlain while he was trying to pitch. Sometimes you got to call on the extraterrestrial animal forces of nature for help, and even the birds couldn't get us on Sunday.
I was about to say, even the birds couldn't help the Browns. Poor you all.
I got the captain to keep me warm around the house.
So, okay, I know you don't really want to talk Peyton too much because you've talked about him a lot, but you haven't talked to him with us. So let's talk some Peyton a little bit. Now, do you think that he's just kind of aging out a little bit? I think that's part of it. But do you also think, though, that he's just getting used to Coobs' system and just how he wants to run things? Do you think that's part of it?
I think that it goes even deeper than that. I think that there's a power struggle going on between Kubiak and Manning, and it's Kubiak just refusing to let go and let Peyton do what Peyton does, which is run that offense. And I understand Kubiak has has something to prove. That I can be more than just an offensive coordinator. I can be a winning head coach. I can do that. I'm ready for that. But he needs to understand that this is Manning's last season, without a doubt. In my mind, I'm 100% sold on that. He's done after this season, and so let him do what he does. Let him do what makes him great. And then you can retool the offense all you want next season. We don't care, because Osweiler's going to come in and make it happen. Osweiler's been learning behind the best, arguably the best who's ever played the game, and he'll be ready and do whatever Kubiak wants him to do. But for this season, just let it go and let Manning be Manning. And yes, he's aging out. He's ready to retire. But how far off he's fallen, it's just been so hard to watch as a Broncos fan. And all of the naysayers and the haters who are just talking so much trash on Twitter and Facebook, bench him, he's done, he's a has-been, and not seeing that this offense is a team, whether they win or they lose, and they all have a part to play in how horrible they've been doing this season. It's not all on Manning.
Who else would you put the blame on if you were, or if you will?
Our receivers aren't except for Emmanuel Sanders. That man can do no wrong. Love him. Our receivers aren't stepping up. Where's our tight ends? I don't even know where are they? Where's Virgil Green? And our offensive line isn't opening up holes for the run game. So it is, in my opinion, it really is just and this, what offense are you going to run? Are you going to run the shotgun? Are you going to run the pistol? Or, is Manning going to be behind center? Just, it's been very frustrating to watch. Just it's so broken. There's just got to be a way to fix it. And really, how much worse could it get? Really, it's got to get better, and we've got the bye week to figure this out because we have a huge game coming up in 2 weeks. Sunday Night Football, Green Bay Packers, two undefeated teams going against each other. That's going to be a massive game. That game could set the path for the rest of the season for the Broncos.
Leora, do you think there's one named Julius Thomas, but he's in Jacksonville?
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to pick that wound because it sounded like, Leora's going through it right now, so I was going to let that go.
Whenever I listen to her talk about Kubiak, it's almost like listening to Sonja talk about Lombardi. I think she's got the same problem in Detroit with an offensive coordinator who's not using the strengths of the talent he has and not letting them do the things they're good at. They're both trying to force players into schemes that aren't natural to them.
Yeah, right. And I think too, Leora, don't you agree that if they could get the running game solidified, get a more consistent running game, that would help enormously?
Well, obviously, yes, because for some reason it's like a light switch flipped on in the end of the fourth quarter, and we had a running game, and that running game was what was able to get us into overtime. So whatever worked during that series and into overtime, they just need to duplicate that. I don't know. I can't figure out why for 3 quarters we didn't have it, and then we had it for the fourth quarter.
You could have had it the whole game because my Browns are the absolute worst run defense in the league, and we didn't even really start running the ball until the fourth quarter. And we kept thinking all day, can't believe he's not running the ball. We suck at stopping the run.
Right.
We do. And
well, we suck even
fourth.
more at opening up those holes for our running backs. So, but luckily we get Juwan Thompson back, so he can let C.J. Anderson really hasn't produced the way that I wish he had, and Ronnie Hillman's really stepped up to the plate. And yes, he
my fantasy
have him
team
on your
loves
fantasy
him.
team. So, but, we need another good quality running back. So we'll get Juwan Thompson back, and hopefully that'll help further solidify this running game that we so desperately need.
And it's really kind of funny, though, to listen to you talk, kind of like Kate was saying. It's like, you're having the same struggles I am, with my team and just seeing what's going on with the Lions. And you're 6-0. That's just the funny part of it.
I know, but everybody, it's frustrating, though, because everyone's saying, you guys are a joke. You're a fluke. You don't deserve to be 6-0. You're the worst undefeated team we've ever seen in NFL history, and blah, blah, blah. And we could, Peyton Manning can turn into Trent Dilfer tomorrow, and I don't care as long as our defense gets it done and we keep winning games and Manning stays healthy. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, our offense sucks. We're first in defense, 32nd in total offense, but 6-0. So
you are what your record says you are, and your record says you're undefeated, and that's all.
If anything, we've proven that we won't quit.
Right.
And we won't give up, and we will, in that defense, will do everything that they can to win the game for the whole team. And when the chips are down, we find a way to win. It's ugly, it's terrible, it gives me heartburn, but you know what?
It works.
We're 6-0, and we're going into the.
You guys they're pulling it together, obviously, because they've done nothing but win. Mm-hmm. So something is going right, whether it's the defense just stepping up and doing what they got to do. I mean, those guys are balling out there.
Oh, it's Orange Crush 2.0, and I might be wrong on this stat, but I think our defense has scored 61% of our total points this season between defense and special teams. And, so that's not a great stat, but it's keeping us in the game. But obviously this Sunday night game in 2 weeks against the Packers at home, that's going to be the true test. That's going to shut people up. We win that game, again, we could have a horrible offensive showing, but if we win that game, they'll be like, they beat the Packers. They unseated another undefeated team. So we got to give them some respect and some props.
One of the big components to that defense is Demarcus Ware. Give us an update on him. Is he going to be back when you guys face the Packers? That's a great way to segue into Kate's injury segment.
He could have played on Sunday, and I think it was more just a precautionary move to keep him off the side, put him on the sideline. We've got so many defensive tools in our toolbox that it was okay for him to be out for one game, but he fully intends to be ready to go against the Packers, and he'll use this bye week to get healthy, and he'll be ready. He could have played on Sunday, but he didn't need to.
Thankfully.
Yes, exactly. Thankfully. Oh, I'm sorry. Not really.
It made perfect sense for him to sit out this week because with the bye week coming, that gives him almost 3 full weeks to really get better. Because you're right, that game against the Packers is huge, and they didn't need him Sunday, and that's just the reality I live with. So it's all right. Well, your team's finding a way to win. My team's finding a way to lose. Shall we talk about the injuries from this weekend?
Yes, we shall. Shall we?
Pittsburgh Steelers, I hate them. They're in my division. Michael Vick went out with a hamstring tear, and Landry Jones came in. And dang, if Landry Jones didn't look like a real quarterback. I think he's going to keep playing, and he will probably, stay behind center for the Steelers until Ben Roethlisberger gets back. I think he gets back in time to play us because, that's how my life is. The injury that really upset me the most, there were 2 that I thought were unnecessary this week, and that I thought were from, kind of shady plays by the defense, was the Titans. Marcus Mariota got his leg ruled on a low hit. He did come back into the game wearing a knee brace, but I think what I read was he's got an MCL sprain. Mm-hmm. So things are not looking good for him right now from a 100% healthy standpoint. And,
he should never have been back in that game.
Right.
No, I would have never put him back in either.
I would have not learned.
Knee brace or not. I don't know what people are thinking. And the same can be said for Brian Hoyer of the Houston Texans. He got smashed by Jonathan Cyprien of the Jaguars, who got flagged for the late hit. Brian got hit, went down. Cyprien came in from the side, banged into him, head-to-head contact. Brian's head hit the ground. I really thought he was unconscious for a couple seconds because he didn't move right away. They took him, called an official timeout to make sure he was all right, got him off the field. And then they put him back in the game, and it really surprised me because of all the concussion protocols and, having the independent neurological exams and all that kind of stuff on the field. I just really didn't think Hoyer was himself for the rest of that game, and I didn't think it was smart rushing him back that quick. But I'm not a doctor, and I don't play one on TV. The Buffalo Bills, Sammy Watkins, getting back from an injury, left again with another injury, sprained ankle. He is questionable at this point. The Green Bay Packers, Ty Montgomery, also suffered an ankle injury. He had to be carted off the field. He couldn't even put any pressure on it to stand, and he did not return. He's also questionable. Emmanuel Sanders, maybe Leora's got an update on this. He seemed to hurt his shoulder. It was the weirdest play at the end of regulation. They were driving to score, and it looked like he caught a ball, and he kind of rolled around on the ground, and one of the Browns players touched him, and then all of a sudden, he gets up, runs to the end zone. The ref blows the whistle. He runs to the end zone, and then he just lays there. And had they ruled that a catch, that would have been the end of the game. and I think we would have won. But no, they kicked the field goal to send us to overtime. But they're saying that that he's got a shoulder injury of some kind, but I haven't heard anything new on that. Leora, have you heard anything about his shoulder?
Mum's the word. They haven't said anything.
That's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
And the other one of note, just because he used to be a Brown, is the New York Jets' Buster Skrine, who's playing really well on the defense for them. Suffered a hand injury. They're going to run him through the concussion protocols. There's no word yet on if he will play this week. The same for the Cleveland Browns' Joe Hayden. He has not been cleared yet, but they usually don't clear them until Wednesday or Thursday of a game week once they've missed a game with the concussion. So we should hear more tomorrow on both Buster Skrine and Joe Hayden.
I got another one to add to the list. Our little running back, Zach Zenner. He cracked his ribs, collapsed his lungs, so now he's headed to the IR. And, you know, you just hate to see that because he was the undrafted rookie running back that we had, and he was starting to step in and kind of getting into his own there. I mean, the Lions actually discovered that they could run more than 50 yards. They actually ran for 155 yards this past week. So there you go. But, yeah, so he injured himself and is out for the rest of the year. So that sucks for him because, you know, he was one that
really
wanted to
does.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have one to add as well. Shane Ray, who's our star rookie linebacker, is out 4 to 6 weeks with an MCL sprain as well. So that was a pretty bad blow to our defense.
I hated to see him get carted off. That was
that was not fun to watch in real life. So yeah.
As far as college football goes, the only real injury that I took note of this week was the Michigan State University player who recovered the fumble and took it into the end zone, got
broke his hip
and dislocated his hip.
No, he broke it.
Is it broken? They said it was dislocated when they carted him off.
At first it was dislocated, but then they changed it. He did actually break his hip, poor guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
He may not play football for the rest of the year, but he will never have to buy himself a beer at a bar in East Lansing, Michigan for like the rest of his life.
Yeah, seriously. Poor guy. I mean, you hate to see that. Poor kid.
Yeah.
Poor kid.
But so I don't know. I don't feel like the list this week is as long. I tried to focus on players that could have an impact on your fantasy football team, but we are in the bye week, so some of the teams aren't playing. I think the players have finally gotten rid of some of the rust, and they're actually starting to play better. I was going to say I thought the officials were doing a better job at calling games, but I still have no idea what a catch is. And in college football, I have no idea what a targeting is. So I will say this for Michigan. That boy was not targeting, and I hope he's not suspended next week because it's just, I don't know what's going on. I don't understand the rules anymore. I thought I understood the rules, but apparently I don't. But the catching thing in the NFL is starting to be puzzling. When the TV announcers don't know what a catch is, when their instant replay expert doesn't know what a catch is, you've got a problem. And so the NFL better figure out how to truly have some consistency in when they're calling things a catch and a touchdown and when they're not, because people are going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of really controversial calls over the weekend. I know that Dean Blandino was on, maybe it was NFL Network, probably more than one TV show. I don't watch that many of them. And was trying to explain some things. And as, you know, these things happen, he was very, very, very roundly criticized for his explanations on social media. So
and social media isn't the place to try to explain some of these things. It's hard enough for me to make a point in 140 characters or less without people reading things into it that I didn't say, and that's not the place. Do the circuit of the talk shows and try to be clear, but at the same time, he should have talked to somebody else at the NFL and made sure that he knew what he was talking about before he tried to explain, you know, some of these calls, because I don't know. I like the replay system, but I still don't. I feel like most of the time we're getting them right, but there are enough times where I'm just like, the Indianapolis Colts Patriots game. I don't understand how Moncrief didn't come up with that ball after the onside kick. Everybody saw him get it. He was at the bottom of the pile with it. He come out with it, and they're yelling Patriots ball. And my Twitter timeline is full of people who saying, "Oh, he called up in the headset and the Patriots check cleared, so that's why the Patriots got the ball back. It's those things don't make sense, and you've got replay people looked at that over and over again, and they kept showing us the same ankles, and Moncrief had that ball, and if you can't get it right after replay, then I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I'll tell you something that I really don't like, and I think that they need to look at changing him, even though I do think that the Fire Ken Wisenhunt crowd probably has it right. In case you're early or late to the show, the Sharona Hates Ken Wisenhunt show, but no, he, with so many people not understanding the rules and the rules becoming so much more complicated, and you see so much drama and controversy over it, it's hard to, and I bet Sonja has some thoughts on this too, it's really hard to fault a coach who throws a challenge flag when they're not supposed to.
Well,
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, and I think they really need to look at changing that, because it's grossly unfair to do that when everybody knows you can't get it right, and y'all don't know the dang rules, and it's almost impossible to know them all now.
It is. It's
I don't
very
like the penalty for that at all. I think the coach should be allowed to throw the flag and have the head official come over and talk to him and have him say, listen, is this something I can challenge? If not, I'll pick up my flag and go back to my sidelines, and if it is, I want to challenge it. It's not like they're trying to get a free timeout or something, because they're not on the sidelines talking to their player. They're interacting with the official while they're being told that whether they can or can't challenge something, and to take a timeout away from them or penalize them with yards. I think they did that to Tom Coughlin of the Giants a couple weeks ago. Penalized him for something. They said, no, it's within the last 2 minutes. You're not allowed to challenge it. But the booth didn't review it either. So it's just, I don't understand the point of penalizing the coach. Let the head official tell him, listen, dude, you can't challenge this, and then go on with the game.
Right. That's all.
Yeah.
If you're not,
in this situation, it was automatically reviewable. In that situation, it should have been reviewed. I mean, that was a big no-no, right? I forget what happened. Jim Schwartz's, was his automatically reviewable too, Sonja?
I think in the end it was automatically reviewable, but because he had thrown the flag, it couldn't have been reviewed after that.
Oh.
And that's because sometimes
it's just
you
dumb.
have to wait to hear what the official call is. If they call it a catch, that's reviewable. If they call it not a catch, it's not reviewable. I mean, depending on which way the official calls it, also changes whether or not you're allowed to review. If they call it a catch, or if they call it a touchdown, in the final 2 minutes, it's automatically reviewed. You can't challenge that. But if they call it not a touchdown, even in the last 2 minutes, you can, because it's all about if it's a scoring play or not, kind of a thing. And so I understand where it can be confusing as the head coach of, wait, which way did he call that? And is this the one I'm allowed to challenge or the one I'm not allowed to challenge? Maybe the teams need to have a guy on the sidelines whose whole job is to decide whether or not a play is reviewable before he throws the flag. Because they're in their headsets and somebody upstairs is going, I just saw the video, throw the flag. And they are not paying attention to the situation.
A lot of teams have that. They have, spotters who.
And that spotter's job is to know if he's allowed to throw the flag or not.
Yeah,
but then
but it's also heat of the moment too.
Exactly, it's heat of the moment, and then is that person supposed to have the rules right there to look up?
If it's 2:05 when the play starts and 1:58 when it ends, you're within 2 minutes, but you're not looking at the clock. You're looking at the play and trying to heat of the moment and throw a flag, and it just gets, I don't know, it gets ticky-tack. Some of this stuff to me is just ticky-tack.
And that's why
they finally called someone for an illegal pick, and it wasn't even an illegal pick. I've been trying to get a pick penalty all season. I finally saw one this weekend. I think it was Detroit, and it wasn't even a pick. Then they called Calvin Johnson for it, and it wasn't even.
Oh, yeah. Was it that pass interference that they called? Yeah, when he was just like.
But it wasn't a pick.
No. Yeah, I had to make a run, and so I was listening to it on the radio, and the announcers were like, I don't understand anything anymore, because the defender engaged him, and he just put his hands up, and that was it.
Yeah.
But PI. So there you go. Yeah.
The pick is when he engages the defender. When he starts it with the defender away from the play, then they refer to it as a pick play, like in basketball terms. But the defender clearly put his hands on Calvin first. It was just all very confusing. It was all very confusing.
Exactly. And see, that's the type of play that could, it's the Lions, so it definitely could go against and negate everything that they just did.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
You guys have been getting some crappy calls this year. I'll give you that.
Gosh, yeah.
Crappy officiating going on all over Michigan this weekend.
Little crappy. Little crappy, but that's okay. We're used to it. Detroit versus everybody, right? Right.
Yeah, Cleveland. At least we're not Detroit.
So Sonja, how does it feel to, get that first win under your belt?
It feels very good, and I want to say that, just the way that it happened was you saw vintage Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson. He just chucked that ball up, showed off his big arm, and Calvin was right there to get it. Good things happen when you throw to Calvin Johnson. Yeah. And so I don't understand, again, why they were going away from that whole set of play calling. I don't get that. This time Lombardi was actually up in the box, so I don't know if maybe he literally had a different vantage point and was like, hey, look at what we can do from up here. I don't know. But
that's funny.
It is. And, you do feel good about that win because, it's the Bears, and you always like to beat the Bears. I like to beat the Bears. We've beat the Bears for a while now, so this is a good thing.
A division win is always better than a regular.
I can support any team that beats the Bears.
Exactly. I can get behind anybody who beats the Bears. Those Bears, I tell you what.
Am I the only one who was surprised that not only did Alshon Jeffrey play, but that he had as big a game as he had? Yeah. I didn't think for a minute he would have done as well as he did. I told my husband to bench him in fantasy football, and thank God he didn't need him, or I'd have been sleeping on the couch for the rest of the week. I just did not expect that kind of game from him.
I didn't either. Especially because, last week Cuddy didn't have anybody to go to. And so this week I was like, oh, Jeffrey's going to be there. So, yeah, but at the same time, I didn't think he was going to be 100% as much as he was, but he did pretty good. But we're better.
Speaking of Cutler not having anyone to throw to, how about Brandon Marshall in New York?
There you go.
Oh, he looks better and better every week, and they got him for a song. And I'm one of the many teams complaining that my front office didn't go after him when he was available. Yeah. And he's just so cute. He's on that Showtime show with his big fat tie on, and
his bow tie.
Yeah, he's adorable. How do you not like Brandon Marshall?
I don't like him.
But in the end, yes, you do gotta like him. But yeah, he is kind of a different character, and I think
different guy.
He's a different character, and I think that's kind of why people shied away from him. Do you at least want to kind of kick the tires on it? Yeah, you would like to see that type of thing, especially when he got let go, or when the Jets picked him up for essentially, pennies.
Was it six? They traded him for a 6th-round pick. Wasn't that what they got?
Yeah, like something super duper low.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, when you see that value, you wonder why your front office can look at them, but then you also wonder why. Okay, yeah.
Well, the close the Jets for Trent Richardson, so the front office is crazy. I'm just saying, they do all kinds of crazy things that some things pay off and some things don't. So
yeah,
you don't know. I guarantee if the Browns had made that deal and picked him up, he'd be sitting on the bench with Dwayne Bowe, not playing, not catching, not doing nothing, because that's how we do in Cleveland. Because that's why I drink.
Speaking of all of that, I hadn't really paid that much attention to his trajectory, but Dion Lewis was released by the Browns.
Yes, we didn't think we needed him. It was last year, the year before. We had a number of options. He looked really good in the preseason. We had a number of options, and they decided they needed to let somebody go, so they let him go. And it made me sad because while I like, the Jerome Bettis or the Marshawn Lynch kind of back that can just run up the gut and go after yards, what Dion Lewis did here and I've seen him do it a little bit now for his new team, whose name shall not be mentioned, is he seemed to know where the gap was going to open on the line before it opened. So he would make a cut, and he would be through the hole. So, but it was kind of like Moses, and the line would open, and he would sneak through, and then it would close, and then he would be gone. And catching him is like trying to catch a grease pig or something. He was sick. So if you got him when he was in his groove, and he is through and gone, he's a slippery little sucker. I liked him. We let him go. A lot of people here complain. And there are a few players in the league that used to be here that still get talked about on Sundays. People watch the San Francisco 49ers, and they let me know every time Phil Dawson hits a field goal how long it was and what's going on. They let me know when T.J. Ward makes a tackle, when DeQuil Jackson does something nice. Not so much Brandon Whedon. We laugh about Brandon Whedon, but Deion Lewis has joined the ranks of people here complaining that we let him go. And just because he works in that system didn't mean he would have worked here. And I kid about the Browns being jinxed or cursed or whatever, but our system isn't the same as the one he's in now. And what we needed him to do, he isn't good at. He's really good at what he's doing, and that fits the scheme of where he's at. So he was sort of a round peg here, and they didn't know what to do with him. I'm very happy for him. He was a great guy when he was here. I talked to him at training camp and stuff. Good kid. I can call him my kid since I'm old enough to be his mother. And I picked him up on 2 of my fantasy football leagues this week because he was still available. I thought he looked good.
One guy you guys hit on is Gary Barnidge.
We did. Gary's been here a couple of years, and Gary was my unsung hero, I think, the first week that I was on the show. He does a lot of fan interaction on Twitter. He does a trivia contest on Wednesday nights. If you are one of the first 10 people to get the trivia question right, he takes you to the movies on Thursdays.
Aww.
Hangs out with fans and brings another player with them, and is just a really nice guy. Works with a charity to provide shoes to kids that don't have shoes back in Carolina, where he came from. He's still doing his work with them. He's just a good guy, and he's the tight end you want to have. He's tall, he's big, he's athletic. He knows how to block, so he's on the field a lot. And this year, McCown seems to be the first quarterback to really take advantage of his size and his ability. Similar, never going to say he's like Calvin Johnson, except that if there's 3 guys going up for a ball and one of them's Calvin Johnson, he's going to get it. And so if there are 3 guys going up for a ball here in Cleveland and one of them's Gary Barnidge, he's going to get it. Or he's going to make sure that he hurts the other 2 guys next to him with whatever body parts he can swing so they don't get it. I've seen too many receivers, Braylon Edwards, go up for a jump ball and just be like, is it mine? No? Okay, you can have it, and not defend the other guys from taking their ball, so to speak. So he's been doing really well. He had 2 on Sunday. Another person that I picked up on one of my fantasy football teams. The frustrating thing, though, was at the end of the game, 4th quarter and in overtime, he was barely on the field, and they weren't putting him on the field during running plays. So they were totally telegraphing to the Denver defense, oh, we're going to run the ball because Barnidge isn't out here. He's a great blocking tight end, so even if you're going to run the ball, you put him in because now he's somebody finally that defenses are going to keep an eye on. And he may not be drawing double teams yet, but he's at least drawing a body onto him and making defenses worry about him, and they didn't have to worry about him at all late in the game, which I thought was sad because he made some nice plays early on. So we've done well with Gare. Big play Gare.
Big play Gare.
I met his mom. He's got a dimple. I'm a sucker for dimples.
Well, since Gary, you did mention the unsung hero and how he was your unsung hero. Segue. I'm proud of myself for that one. It's the little thing, guys. Leave me alone.
That's what she said.
Oh, boy.
I love you.
You know, Leora, my goal every show is to make sure Sonja laughs so that she can't actually finish a sentence. I'm good for today.
Oh, goodness. You are too funny. So, anyways, I asked everybody for some unsung heroes. Our friend Brad James, Bronco Italy on Twitter, was also a Denver Broncos fan.
Yes, my buddy.
Your buddy?
My buddy.
He suggested David Bruton. David Bruton, sorry. A Broncos safety who made some pretty key plays. So, he is our unsung hero for the week.
Yay! I like it. I like it. I'm going to give a little love, just a little love to my guy Malik Jackson, who's doing pretty good for that Denver Broncos defensive line. Leora?
Yes.
I was very excited when he got drafted by the Broncos. Didn't really get a chance to show, I didn't think, everything that he could do at Tennessee. I jokingly kid with a friend of mine, Jennifer Eakins, who also covers the Broncos, that the Broncos are the Tennessee Volunteers West, because they've had so many Tennessee Volunteers on that team. Not as many now, but in the past they definitely have.
And do you think Peyton's watching Tennessee games and letting the scouts know who to look for?
Do what now?
You think Peyton's watching Tennessee games and kind of saying to the scouts, hey, go look at this guy, go look at that guy before the drafts come up?
I'm sure.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me at all.
I see him ending up over in Tennessee as a coach of some type when he retires.
I started the Tennessee, the Peyton Manning to Tennessee athletic director rumor already.
I would not be shocked at all.
Let's keep that.
I would love it. He couldn't do any. I mean, he would be a lot better than what they've had the last two ADs that they've had. I know that. I mean, he wouldn't screw things up as badly as, certainly not as badly as Mike Hamilton.
Well, he would surely make recruiting quarterbacks a whole lot easier for the university.
I mean,
who wouldn't want?
Who wouldn't want to go there?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, I've got something for you. On Straight Up with Sharona, I want to ask you guys a question. The same question to all three of you, because first of all, I'm curious, and secondly, I was going to do this on my podcast and completely forgot. So, what is your go-to beauty product? The one beauty product you absolutely cannot live without. Kate, I'll start with you.
Mascara. That's. I have freckles. I don't know if you can tell from the camera angle, but I have freckles, which just makes the entire concept of makeup difficult. And my mom never wore any makeup, so I didn't learn how to wear makeup growing up. But I went to college, and one of my roommates introduced me to mascara, and I don't leave the house without mascara. Before I had glasses, I just felt like between the freckles and everything
You got nice lashes.
it was all bad. And so I need to have eyelashes. So the glasses kind of create the illusion that I have eyelashes, but I need my eyelashes. I always, I have friends who say, I have to put my face on, and I'm like, no, I just have to put my lashes on, and then I can do that in the car on my way to work. But that's my one thing that I can't live without, my mascara.
Leora?
I need like 5 million different kinds of lip gloss. That's me.
See, I'm with you. Yeah, lip or chapstick. I mean, I'm a chapstick girl. I'm like,
I need something with a little bit of shine and sparkle, and I've got tubes of lip gloss all over this house. I've got tubes of them in purses that I haven't used. See, yes, exactly.
This is just what I have sitting beside the computer to do my shows with. This doesn't even include what's in my purse and what's in my bathroom and my little beauty kit in the bathroom.
Yep, I've got like tubes at work, in my car, in my purse. My kids got some, so yes, lip gloss for sure.
Okay. All right, Sonja?
Well, I do have a lot of lip gloss, lipstick stuff. I do.
Fabulous. Woo!
Fabulous. These are good. And I also do a little lip scrubby thing, too, every now and then, and that kind of helps just kind of get off the dead skin and things like that. So that's one thing. Another thing, it's something I got from the place where I go get a lot of pedicures from. It's called Cracked Up, and it's like this lotion that you put on.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
And, oh, my gosh, it's amazing. And it, like, if your feet are all dry, like, especially during the wintertime when it's really dry.
Lotions
yeah,
too.
Stuff like that. It just
I keep lotion and lip gloss. I mean, that's the...
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I have to say, I have found the best stuff for your hair.
What?
So I'm thinking about, it's this Moroccan oil that You're supposed to put it on wet hair, but I have found that it works for my hair because my hair is processed. It works better for it to go on dry, and I'll use it on wet hair too, and I'll just leave it on there and just let my hair just soak it in, and I can almost hear my hair just sucking it in, right? But it is the best thing. I swear, it's the best thing, you guys.
I have the same stuff. I have a bottle that's about this big that I probably got 3 years ago, and I still have the same bottle. You push them, and you get like a little bit the size of a dime on your hand, and you start rubbing it around, and it goes everywhere. And when I blow dry, I'll get like half dry, and then I'll put it on. And it keeps. My hair is really thick, and I get those things that stand up, like, you know, when you touch those electric balls and your hair goes straight up. And it just gets, the more humid it is, the bigger my hair gets. And so I find it keeps everything, and my hair does make that noise, like it just ate a York peppermint patty when I put it on. I do love it.
Now, I do use Shine. And I didn't tonight. Haven't had to use that Shine in like 2 weeks since I started. This is like a conditioner that you put on, but you are supposed to wash it out. And I'll just leave it on for like all day or whatever. One more quick question. Who is right now your front runner for MVP? Sonja, let me start with you.
Front runner for MVP, Aaron Rodgers.
Leora?
I'm going to have to go with Aaron Rodgers.
Kate?
Cam Newton. I define MVP differently than most people. To me, that team is 0 and whatever without Cam Newton. He is making them. I don't know how the Packers would do without Aaron Rodgers, but I'll tell you, without him, they'd be nothing. So I've got to go Cam Newton.
That is
at
this point. That's a good number 2.
I definitely think Aaron Rodgers has more talent. Although, I mean, losing Jordy Nelson was huge, and Devontae Adams has not been healthy. Now he's lost Ty Montgomery. I mean, they're still winning games too. But I have to agree. Right now it's a toss-up, and I'm like juggling. Cam Newton is kind of up there, but it's Aaron Rodgers, Cam Newton, and Andy Dalton. I mean, you got to give it up to Andy Dalton and what he's doing.
I can't vote for a ginger.
Yeah.
Gingers have no soul.
That's the thing. He's a ginger.
Gingers do have souls because they steal the souls of orphan children. It's my decision, people. I can't root for Andy Dalton.
And you know, the thing about Cam Newton, and it's always just irked me that he just does not get the respect that he should get. In my opinion.
Winning cures everything. If they keep winning and they make a run at the playoffs, maybe get to a title game, if not the Super Bowl, then people will start respecting him. Because if you really look at that team, he doesn't have a whole lot to work.
He doesn't. Well, they were the first team to two-peat in the NFC South, and that didn't get it. They're probably going to three-peat. They're probably going to win it again this year, unless
he doesn't get any respect. So that's part of that problem. You know what I mean? If you look at all the divisions and stack them up, that's really not the most difficult division to play against. So.
No. It was 3 years ago. Last year.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 years ago it was one of the toughest divisions in football. Last year kind of
fell off a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, they were bad. They were just bad teams last year. I'm just shocked with how badly the Saints have been. That's how bad the Saints are. That is the head scratcher to me.
And the 49ers for me. I'm shocked at how far the Niners have fallen. Just from where they were 3 years ago.
Kaepernick looks like he's coming back. What surprises me about the Saints is I hear more people complaining that Peyton Manning's losing it than people complaining that Drew Brees has lost it. Drew Brees has not really been himself this season. And that whole team's a mess. I think it's interesting, though, that they're all talking about Sean Payton leaving at the end of the year. I can't see them firing him. I don't know that any of this is his fault, so maybe it's just he's going to go somewhere else. But the Saints have been a big disappointment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, huge disappointment.
Especially if you play fantasy football and you have Drew Brees.
He had a good game last week. I do have him, so I was like, and it was weird because you're hurting when you're like Drew Brees or Ryan Fitzpatrick. But listen, Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's usually a pretty good fantasy quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's a new segment. Worst beard in the NFL.
Okay, I like it.
Worst beard in the NFL. Anybody with one? I'm not a huge fan of a beard.
There's a guy, I don't know, I want to say the Giants. His name's Weddle.
Oh, no.
W-E-D-D-L-E.
Isn't he the Chargers?
Maybe it's the Chargers.
Yeah, he's the Chargers. Yeah.
And he puts his helmet on, and he looks like Sasquatch or Chewbacca. Like, this beard goes halfway down the numbers in the front, and then all the way over to here. It's almost like that scary Andrew Luck beard in the commercial. Oh, my God. Have you seen the commercial where he picks his beard out and throws it at
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Oh, that is so
Oh, my God. It's hilarious.
That's so gross.
I'm glad I haven't seen
Well,
it.
then, actually, I just thought about it. DeAndre Levy, he's got the best beard. Just saying.
Some guys can rock a beard like nobody's business. Hi, Tim Howard. Call me baby.
I was actually mentioning to my husband, did you guys notice this like nasty half neck, not half neck beard that Tom Brady had going on Sunday night? That was nasty.
I didn't notice that, but Andrew Luck likes to do that. Andrew Luck is the king of the neck beard.
Dude,
but with Tom Brady, it was like in patches. It wasn't even. It was disgusting, and I'm like, you're too much of a pretty boy to try to work the beard thing. Just stop. You just look terrible. So I was very off-putting. Yeah, just ugh, it was terrible.
Some guys can do it. Some guys can't.
No.
I don't know.
Time to wrap the show up.
What?
It's time to wrap up the show. I'm going to have to talk about Johnny Manziel. It looks like it's time to go.
On that note, we can go on to my last segue. Well, thanks as always. The hour does fly by, as it tends to do on Tuesday nights from 9 to 10. Leora, thank you so much for visiting us and talking Broncos with us. And see, we didn't really even get into Peyton that much.
No.
So hopefully that wasn't so bad. And next time, yes, you will have to let little Peanut stay up a little later and come talk for about 5 minutes or so.
I'm excited.
She would love that. Yes, definitely.
And do her little dance.
Let me know when, and it is.
Her hat and her orange sunglasses.
Oh, she's as good as done. Just let me know when.
I've got some orange sunglasses. We'll bond over orange sunglasses.
Yes.
All righty. So, Leora, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at LeoraKitty78, or you can find my articles on NFLfemale.com.
Awesome. Thank you. And Kate, why don't you remind everybody where they can find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Cleveland Kate, CLVLNDK, the number 8. Cleveland Kate without any vowels. You can hear me on Monday and Fridays talking sports with Cleveland Kate on the Mixler app from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern. And you can find me drinking on Sundays when the Browns are playing.
I love you, Kate. Oh, goodness. Sharona, why don't you give everybody the haps on you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Sports by Sharona, but this week you won't find me anywhere because I'm on vacay.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Sharona, on vacay. We really, really, really appreciate it. And Liz, Leora, thank you. And as always, thanks to Liz, who gives us the opportunity to do what we do and talk sports and write about them and all that good stuff. Yes, Liz, we love you. Next week's going to be kind of cool. For real, really, you guys, we're going to switch over to Spreecast next week. And we've got Dana O'Gorman coming on. She's going to be talking some Seahawks with us. So you guys get your Spreecasts going so that you can interact with us as we are going live. We'll love it. And, yeah, that's it. Tune in to us next week, The Zone Blitz, from 9 to 10 p.m., brought to you by NFL Female. Deuces, y'all.
Mwah. Bye.